Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Iran has warned that it may no longer consider itself bound by its agreement with the United States if Washington continues to violate the terms of the deal aimed at ending the Middle East conflict. According to Iranian state media, Tehran's ambassador to the United Nations said the warning relates to the Islamabad understanding, which was reached with Pakistani mediation. Iran says continued US violations could undermine its own commitments under the agreement. Iran's foreign minister has arrived in Oman to discuss arrangements for the safe passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, with Washington seeking a public pledge of free, secure transit. Iran's semi-official Tasnim news agency said Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi had arrived in Oman. CBS News and its UK partner, the BBC, both reported that US Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner were expected to lead negotiations on Saturday with Araghchi. Iran's Fars news agency later cited a source saying no negotiations would take place until the US retreated from its positions. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei, has said that avenging his slain predecessor and father is the demand of the nation and must certainly take place. According to a written message released on his Telegram account, Khamenei said the nation pledged to avenge the blood of the martyred leader and all the martyrs of these two wars from the criminal and disgraced killers. The supreme leader issued the message on the occasion of funeral ceremonies for his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, held months after he was killed in the US-Israeli airstrikes on February 28th.
US President Donald Trump has said that Iran has requested fresh talks and Washington has agreed to continue negotiations. However, Trump declared that the June ceasefire is over, following a new exchange of military strikes between the two countries.
Meanwhile, Iran has disputed Trump's claim that Tehran had requested the resumption of direct talks with Washington. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmail Baghai said Iran had made no request for negotiations and had instead agreed to receive a Qatari delegation acting as a mediator. He added that Iranian officials had informed the Qatari delegation of Tehran's position during its visit to Mashhad. On the other hand, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has travelled to Oman with a high-level delegation for crucial talks focused on the Strait of Hormuz. US President Trump has also declared that he has ordered the military to be prepared to launch strikes against Iran if the Iranian government carried out or attempted an assassination of the president. He said in a Truth Social post that 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands of more to immediately follow should the Iranian government act on its threat, pronounced in many corners of the globe, to assassinate or attempt to assassinate the sitting president of the United States of America. He added that orders have already been given and the US military is ready, willing and able to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran.
An uneasy calm returned to the Middle East after the United States and Iran paused attacks, while Pakistan and Qatar stepped up efforts to bring both sides back to negotiations. US officials said Washington remains committed to a diplomatic solution despite recent military exchanges, while Pakistani sources expressed hope that talks could resume once tensions ease. The next round of negotiations, originally planned in Islamabad, has been delayed as mediators focus on restoring calm. The pause follows 2 days of fighting in which the US struck dozens of Iranian military targets and Iran responded with missile and drone attacks on US facilities in the Gulf. Diplomats say preventing further escalation and restarting technical talks are now the immediate priorities. Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf, has said that his country is ready for full-scale defense if the United States backs away from its commitments under the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. Ghalibaf said Iran would never surrender under pressure and warned that any collapse of the agreement would be met with a firm defense of Iran's rights and interests. He also urged the Muslim world to unite against the United States and Israel, saying the Islamic world should stand up in the face of continued pressure.
The New York Times says the US Department of Justice has subpoenaed several of its journalists to testify before a federal grand jury over reporting on security concerns involving President Donald Trump's new Qatari-donated Air Force One. According to the newspaper, the subpoenas require the journalists to appear before a grand jury as part of an investigation into an alleged violation of federal criminal law. The Justice Department has not publicly commented on the matter. North Korea has condemned the United States and its allies for what it called strengthening military blocs and accelerating arms build-ups after a NATO summit this week. Pyongyang accused NATO leaders of portraying North Korea's exercise of its legitimate sovereign rights as a threat. The Foreign Ministry said in a statement carried on state media KCNA that the alliance demonstrated a stronger commitment to bloc-to-bloc confrontation through increased arms spending and closer military cooperation with allies in the Asia-Pacific region. China has evacuated more than 1.8 million people as Typhoon Barvi churned toward the major eastern city of Wenzhou after pummeling Japan's southern Sakishima island chain with heavy rain and violent winds, and brushing past northern Taiwan. Even as Barvi continues to slow and weaken on its northwesterly path over cooler seas, the typhoon is still a potent risk due to the sheer volume of moisture it holds within its rain bands, about the size of France from end to end. Barvi is forecast to make landfall around Wenzhou, home to some 10 million people. Apple has sued OpenAI and two former employees, alleging misappropriation of its trade secrets to benefit the ChatGPT owner's foray into consumer hardware. A dramatic escalation of already simmering tension between the two companies. The complaint accuses OpenAI of orchestrating a broad effort to systematically acquire and exploit Apple's confidential information through former employees, recruiting practices, and supplier relationships to accelerate its push into the consumer hardware business. Meta has withdrawn its new AI image generation feature, Muse Image, just days after its launch, following widespread criticism over user privacy concerns. The feature, which allowed AI-generated images to be created using content from public Instagram accounts, faced backlash from privacy advocates and industry groups. Meta said it had listened to user feedback and acknowledged that the feature missed the mark. The company says the tool is no longer available. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.